Hey, welcome back. This is my fourth episode, and for those of you who are still here, thank you so very, very much. Now, I've waited a long time to get to this, but the time has arrived for my first full blown Chale con Ese Pedo segment, and it will focus on one of the two subjects you are always told to avoid: politics and religion. This one will be politics. Now, I have sat here quietly and watched what goes on around me. But enough is enough. January 6, 2021, the day our constitutional democracy was challenged. Everybody remembers that. We all sat there and couldn't believe we were watching these crazy people storm the building, but yet there they were. That following Sunday, a fellow parishioner at my church tried to compare January 6th to the Black Lives Matter protests of the previous summer. And I refused to entertain the comparisons, as at no time during the BLM events were any government buildings ever attacked. Now, it seems like it's been an eternity of having to either listen to or read about some moron waxing ineloquently about how much better it was under Trump and how everyone preferred it while he was president. Please stop. The man is a traitor. I mean, he's a traitor. As the January 6th committee begins to release the information it has gathered, hey, we're all going to find out about how many high-level Republicans were in on this conspiracy. And oh yeah, you want to talk about conspiracy? That's what this was. Trump has blatantly disregarded the rules of the presidency, so it is no surprise that there is a 7-hour gap in Trump's phone records for January 6th. I mean, hey, can we at least find that a little bit confusing? I mean, Republicans have always said, hey, if you're not guilty, you have nothing to hide. So what are we hiding for 7 hours there, sirs? All during the time that the rebellious insurrection was occurring. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I forget to mention that? Those 7 hours are missing while the Capitol was under siege, while they were threatening to hang Pence and basically kill anybody they came across. There are video and written reports regarding conversations with Trump and members of the Congress that were trapped in the building. Yet there are no records of these calls from Trump. Come on now. I mean, how many of us have looked at our own children dead in the eye and let something this lame pass? Really? You think you're going to get past me with that? Oh, I don't know what happened to 7-hour BS? 7 hours aren't missing. They were deliberately removed. This was done because the presence of the calls made during the 7 hours will show him guilty of trying to undermine the constitutional process. Oh, okay. He being Trump. Let me be perfectly clear about this rant. I'm talking about Trump as a traitor. I'll name the other guys involved in a little bit. Oh, yeah. And now, where are all you Trump lovers now? I don't hear crap about Trump. Just little snide remarks about Nancy Pelosi. How about Trump asking Putin for dirt on Hunter Biden? Or do you Trump lovers not recognize that we might go to war because of a man named Putin? The same Putin whose rear end your idol kissed when he said he trusted Putin's word over the advice of his intelligence agencies. Really? Now, come on now. Those of you who listen to me, we're all about of the same age. And you remember we spent the early part of our years worried about being bombed, and those of us who were of age worried about being drafted because, hey, we had to worry about the communist menace. Oh, I'm sorry. For those of you before you were born, communist menace meant Russia. There, let me clear it up. Putin has always been part of the bad guy segment, and your president seems to have enjoyed kissing his ass. Oops, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. Oh, also, don't forget your president promised COVID would be over by Easter. Easter when? 2025? My favorite one. Mexico's going to pay for the wall. Hey, man, the tangerine tornado has lied to all his followers, and yet, here you are. You can all forget about him running in 2024. He's most likely going to be in jail by then. Okay. You know, the Republican Party is a joke. These are the headlines being made. In Florida, the governor is waging a war with Mickey Mouse and his empire. Hey, in a fit of anger because Disney dared to criticize his, what can I say? If I'm talking Republican, everything that I say about them is either negative in tone or sarcastic in intent. But hey, he's waging a cultural war. I mean, this don't say gay for kids between kindergarten and third grade. Most of those kids have no idea what we're talking about. However, because Disney dared to criticize him, DeSantis said, oh, I'm going to punish you by taking away your special governmental status of running your own show. Basically, Disney has the ability to do what it needs to do to keep its empire going. Now, by the governor saying, by us taking that away from you, now you're going to have to go jump through the hoops that everybody else does, pass all the governmental zoning laws and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. All things that Republicans hate. But yet they're going to put Disney through it. But what he did not realize was when he did that to Disney, the whole 2 counties surrounding Disney are now on the hook for $160 million a year in taxes. Not to mention that Disney has assumed a debt of $1 billion. Now, the only reason that Florida is not going to go into financial bankruptcy because of this lunacy is that there's a stipulation in the law that basically says, Florida, you cannot pass any laws that mess with how Disney has transpired and any debt it accrues. So basically, the law saves Florida from making an ass. No, wrong word. They made an ass of themselves. It leaves Florida not having to pay all that money because the law is unconstitutional to begin with. So you got that. And then you have President Biden mulling over the idea of canceling some of the student debt. And what do you get? You get George Romney and Ron Lee, the 2 august senators from Utah, screaming. They use the dog whistle term, redistribution of wealth. Ooh, hey, you can give these kids a break by canceling some of that debt because most of it was designed by predatory banks sitting there looking to take advantage of kids. Matt, why are we paying so much for a 4-year education? Hey, I'm sorry. Romney got on his high horse and he said, what next? Cancel mortgages, car loans. Hey, I'm sorry that he was being sarcastic because, hey, I'm down for that. Someone want to cancel my stuff, I got no problem with that. Because, hey, what these super rich people forget to tell you is that the government has been protecting their financial hides this whole time. The last time the Republicans were in party, the tax on the wealthy were cut. Now everybody sits there and moans and groans about taxes. But let's be honest. If you're super rich, you can take a 20% bump and you won't even feel it. If you or I take a 20% bump, oh, hey, yeah, we're screaming. But yet every time there is something in the way of a tax, of some sort of increase, it falls on us because for some reason to the Republican Party, the rich are the ones to be protected. And yet you have people who vote for these people. And what bothers me even more, and here we go, here goes my rant, is when I find out I have Latinos who are Republicans. It's like, what has the Republican Party ever done for you? Even business owners. I don't care that you think you're part of the great white middle class. The truth of the matter is all you have to do is look at history and see how quickly and how fickle people are. Let's have another depression and see what happens, because they won't care what your legal status is. They'll just look at you and say, oh man, you're a Mexican. You're one of the people causing this problem. And yet we get Mexicans who think that they're going to be white. And that's why they vote Republican. That is the only reason I can conceive of someone who looks like me would ever vote Republican. That we have delusions of being something that we think white gives us an advantage to. Okay, I'm running out of breath here. I've got myself going. Okay, I will continue this rant later. Thank you so very much, because I think rants should be kept to under 12 minutes. Thank you for scooping in here on my 4th episode. Take care.